Hey there, my fellow hustlers and entrepreneurs and business people. Today, I want to give you the gold. The most important things you need to consider when investing in property, real estate. So to be upfront and honest, I'm not trying to sell you a class or sell you a book or sell you anything at all. This is just me giving something to you for free. So take this information, do with it what you will, but I suggest you take it and utilize it. Because I'm going to share with you today the 5 golden rules for top property investment. All right. So you can maximize your return, you can minimize your risk in all of your property investing. These 5 golden rules are based on my experience in investing in properties for 20 years. All right. So here, golden rule number 1. Always buy from motivated sellers. All right. This is the first golden rule of property investment, is to always buy from a motivated sellers. These are people who are looking to sell their property quickly because they have a problem that needs solving. As a result, they are more flexible on the price in terms of sale. It's important to remember that we are not trying to take advantage of sellers. No. That's not what we're doing. We are looking for a win-win solution that works for both parties. The challenge is finding motivated sellers. Now, one way is to look for properties that have been on the market for a long period of time. So if a property has been on the market for a long time, it could be an indication that the seller is getting more motivated, more anxious, and just ready to sell. You can also look for properties that are being sold by banks or auction houses, as they often want to sell the property quickly because that's not what they're in the business of doing, is holding property. All right. The key is to find these motivated sellers and come up with a win-win solution for both parties. All right. But we want you to win. All right. So here, we're going to go on to golden rule number 2. And that's only ever buy property in an area of strong demand. All right, so the second golden rule of property investment is to only ever buy property in an area of strong demand. This means that the property must be in an area where it is in high demand for rentals. All right, you can check this by researching the area and speaking to a local real estate agent or lending agent or a leasing agent. All right, so it's important to remember that just because a property is cheap doesn't mean it's a good investment. All right. So if the property is in an area where there is no demand for rentals, then it's not a good investment. So you want to make sure that the property is in an area where it is in a growing population and where there are new jobs, hospitals, and universities being built. This will ensure that there is a strong demand for rentals and you will be better serviced for capital growth over the long term. All right. So now we're going to go to rule number 3. Only ever buy property that gives you a positive cash flow. All right. So the third golden rule, only buy property investment that will give you a positive cash flow. Now this means, all right, after all the costs are taken away from the rental income, there must be some profit left over for you. So you don't want to buy property that is going to be a liability in the future. All right. You need to take into account all the costs, including the mortgage, the insurance, management fees, leasehold fees, maintenance, and the bills if it's like an HMO or serviced accommodations. All right. So if there is no profit left at the end of the month, then it's not a good investment. All right. The property needs to be in an asset that puts money into your pocket, not a liability that takes money out of your pocket. All right, golden rule number 4 is always buy properties for the long term. All right, contrary to popular belief, but this 4th golden rule, property investment, is to buy properties for the long term. This means that you need to have a long-term plan for the property. You should not be looking for a quick flip or short-term gain unless that is what you do. Okay, you should be looking to hold a property for a number of years. The longer you hold on to a property, the more capital growth you will see and less capital gains taxes you'll pay. So you also need to take into account that property prices are going to go up and down and up. There will be times when the property market is down. But if you hold on to the property for the long term, then you will see the property value increase over time, historically. All right? Golden rule number 5 is always, always, always have a plan B. All right? The 5th and final golden rule of property investment is always have a plan B. All right? This goes for all property investing, is that you must follow if you want to succeed in this game. All right? So now you might be thinking, why do I need to have a cash buffer? Or why do I need to have a plan B? I have insurance for everything, right? Well, let me tell you something, my friends. While insurance can cover a lot of things, there are some situations where it just simply won't cut it. And when that happens, you need to have some extra cash on hand to deal with a problem. So let me give you an example. All right, ready? So say you're a landlord, and one day your tenant decides to do a runner without paying the rent for the last 2 months. You might think you can just claim on your insurance, right? Wrong. Most insurance policies don't cover this kind of situation, ever. I've never heard of that. So what do you do now? You need to spend some money. Get your property back in shape. Get it rentable again. All right, like me a couple months ago, I had to get back on that treadmill. All right, but if you don't have the cash buffer in place, guess what? You're screwed. All right, that's why you need to have some money set aside for situations like this. A plan B. It could be a credit card, in a bank account, or even someone else's money if you've agreed to borrow in advance, or even a hard money lender. So the important thing is you have to have access to it when you need it. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking that, you don't have any spare cash to put aside. But let me tell you something. If you're serious about property investing, you need to make this a priority. Because if you don't have a cash buffer, you're taking a huge risk. And in this, taking unnecessary risks is a surefire way to lose money. All right? So make sure you have some extra cash on hand to deal with any unforeseen situations that might come up. This way you can get your property back on track and start making that money again. Because remember, property investing is a long-term game. Having a cash buffer in place is just one of many things you'll need to do to ensure your success. And there you have it, my friends. The importance of having a cash buffer in place and my 5 golden rules of property investing that I have talked about in this video. Buying from motivated sellers. Buy from motivated sellers. Buying in an area of strong rental demand. Buying for positive cash flow. Buying for the long term. And always, always, always having a cash buffer. You'll be well on your way to success in the world of property investing. So go out there, make it happen, hustlers. Thank you. Have a good one.